You're watching the International Slam Series. Now, back to the show.
Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, the 14th of November. My name is Lisa Fernandez, and I'll be your co-host for this evening. This is the International Slam Take 2, and you're all very welcome. Before I pass you over to my co-host, I'd like to welcome our audience from the US, Canada, and all over the UK. And if we have any other countries joining us, please leave a comment in the chat and we'll try and do our best to give you a shout out. This show is being live streamed on Zoom and YouTube, and it is being recorded. So if you don't want to make it to the final edit, please turn your camera off. I am biased, but we do have a stellar lineup of artists from around the world that are going to entertain you for the next hour. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, and without further ado, I'd like to pass you over to the co-producer of this show and co-host for the evening, Mr. Christian Wills, aka Anthem.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Hi, and let me also extend my welcome and thank you all for joining. My name is Christian Wills, also known as Anthem in many places, and this is the International Slam Take 2. This is our second open mic platform series online venture that we've started up this year, and we're glad to be able to continue this process with you all and through your support. I want to remind everyone to also keep yourself on speaker view. That will be the best way to see all of the performers tonight. You can also put it on gallery view as well if you'd like, but speaker view would be most appreciated. Videos off, again, as Lisa said, during the recording, if you wish to not be in the recording or the playback when we have this on YouTube. And also for the performers as well, make sure to also plug in your IG names. You can see mine down here in the corner. So if you are performing tonight and you have a social media platform you want to promote, please make sure that you have that alongside of your name. And with that being said, again, thank you guys for coming on to the show. Another also reminder is to also keep yourselves muted. We will have people clapping in between performances though as well. So please hold your applauses for the end of every individual performance. We want to give their time and respect. And without further ado, let's get on to the show. This is the International Slam Take 2. And our first guest up for performing tonight is a poet straight from Delaware. He's a awesome artist. I've known him very well. He's been to a bunch of the shows before. He's been supportive of what we've been doing this entire time, and I'm glad that he stuck around for this show. So please give a round of applause, virtual round of applause for Emery Marshall.
Didn't even know I was muted. Good thing I didn't. Good thing I didn't start yet. That would be tragic. How is everybody doing? Y'all can let me know in the chat how y'all doing. As you said, my name is Emery Marshall Jr., born and raised in Delaware. I've been performing, I would say, maybe about 3 years now. Today I'm going to perform two of my favorites. The first is called Amazing Grace. Oh, before I do that, also, my Instagram name, EmeryJ96. It's right there. It should be right there next to my name down below. So definitely would love to connect with y'all. And yeah, we'll get started. So the very first poem is called Amazing Grace. I wrote this, I think 2 years ago now. Time goes by fast. It's basically about the story behind the song. I'm pretty sure it's a song that we've all heard before. And finding out the story behind the song actually made it hit even harder for me. So here we go. Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. A song that has been on my mind ever since I had an eye to see, but see, people don't even know the meaning behind the song and where it came from. And when I looked up the man who wrote that song, I was stunned. The man who wrote that song was an owner of slaves who tormented and belittled people all the way to their grave. And I was enraged. How could I be so blind to support a racist? How many clueless Christians sing this man's song on a weekly basis? I was angry. I was angry. How could he possibly bring God glory? But my anger turned upside down when I read the rest of his story. See, when this man was sad, at a lonely moment in his life, he then was adopted by a new father. His name was Christ. He read the Bible and received God's amazing grace and determined that God was for everyone, regardless of their race. Then he repented, changed his ways, was no longer an owner of slaves. He put an end to his lonely days as he sought God's holy face. Now, I'm not saying this man's a hero. I'm not trying to parade him. I'm not celebrating this man, but the one who saved him. See, I was a slave to sin until I made God my master. And he took me off of sin's plantation and led me to green pastures. See, not everyone was a slave owner, but we can all relate to him because each and every one of us was a slave to sin, but God. He saved us in our darkest of hour, and his grace remained sweet when he had every right to be sour. So if you feel like you are lost, you feel like you are lonely, and you feel like you are lost, know the wages of sin is death, but Christ paid the cost. So that was the first one. Thank you so much for listening. I pray it was received well the same way I was received it. This next one I'm gonna do is a lot more recent. This poem is called 2020 Vision. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what the poem is about. So we're gonna jump right into it. He created the heavens and he created the earth. And he did not stop creating until he was pleased with his work. And I know it makes him happy when he created woman and man. And I know it brings him joy when we carry out his plan. But I know it makes him sad when we quit before we're finished. Because even though we're not picture perfect, we are still made in his image. So regardless of the pain that we've experienced this past year, those weapons that were formed did not prosper. And that's why we are still here. No sicknesses, no injustices can stop your God-given task. And he will protect you from spiritual viruses much better than any mask. If you feel like this year got you tired, then make next year your second win. And if you feel like you've won this year, then make next year your second win. Whatever your goals were this year, you can still make them a reality. And don't stop until you've won. That's the Mamba mentality. I know this year was rough, but tough times never last. So don't miss out on your future while trying to change the past. Having 2020 vision is scary when we're so used to being blind. But just be thankful that God has finally opened our eyes. That was 2020 vision. Be encouraged, everybody. I love y'all. Again, follow me on Instagram, EmeryJ96, Facebook, Emery Marshall Jr. Can't wait to hear the rest of what we have tonight. Thank y'all for listening. Take care.
Thank you, Emery, for opening the show. That was amazing, and it was we were really happy to have you back. And welcome to everybody that has just joined, that missed the start. I can see lots of familiar faces. D Turtle's with us, not performing tonight, but we're happy to see you back. That was a great opening to the show. Thank you. So our next performer is from Toronto, Canada. From a young age, it was clear that Elijah would be a natural entertainer. When he played his first piece to me last month, he put in as much enthusiasm as if he were playing to the Royal Albert Hall. I am constantly in awe of his confidence, cheeky and charming charisma. Without further ado, I am delighted to introduce my cousin, Elijah Bakioki, performing 2 pieces for you on the piano. The first piece is called The Walrus, and the second piece is called I Have a Friend.
Oh, that's really good.
Well done, Elijah. Thank you very much for performing in our show. So we're sticking in Toronto, and so our next performer is not only, so her name is Samira. She's not only Elijah's big sister. I would describe her as a force to be reckoned with. I am completely blown away by Samira's creative imagination and her ability to express herself through her writing. Samira has a natural gift in creative writing and a wonderful skill of bringing characters to life. Samira has started her first book, and I'm so happy that she has agreed to share a chapter with us tonight. It is my great pleasure to introduce my cousin, Samira Bakioki, reading a chapter from her book, Shine.
Hi everyone, I'm Samira and I'm going to be reading all of you a chapter of a book that I'm currently in the process of writing called Shine. So here it is. Shine, Chapter 1, Not So Ordinary. I awoke to the smell of bacon. As I opened my eyes, a warm ray of sun traveled throughout my body. Mouth-watering, I got up and followed the smell of bacon that wafted through the air into the kitchen, where my mom was making breakfast. I could hear not a single sound but the sound of my own breath. I entered the kitchen and sat down at the table. My mom poured me a glass of orange juice and served me a plate of eggs, bacon, sausages, toast, and fresh fruit. I closed my eyes and let the smell of my delicious breakfast waft through my nostrils. Then, slowly, I opened my eyes, picked up my fork, and began to eat. It was delicious. Then, I lifted up my glass of orange juice to my lips and let the bitter-sweet taste flow through my mouth and down my throat. Suddenly, the telephone began to ring and I was jerked awake. Hi, my name is Mia Smith and I am an ordinary 11-year-old kid, or at least I thought I was. Instead of waking up to a warm, sunny morning and the smell of bacon, I awoke to the smell of sewage. The construction workers were fixing a broken sewage pipe across the road, the sound of my baby brother crying, and my dad swearing loudly. He had just gotten off the phone with his boss. Water was dripping on my forehead. Darn it, my roof was leaking again. I wiped the water off my forehead with the back of my hand and placed the cup under the leak. I jumped out of bed, got dressed, and speedily rushed downstairs for breakfast. I could hear my parents talking nervously. This had been going on for days now. Something on the news about a glowing thing or something like that. Anyways, I shook my head free of all those thoughts and sat down at the table. I took a piece of burnt toast from the pile in the middle of the table. I bit into the black edges. It was bitter and stale. I poured myself a glass of lemonade and took a sip. My face squeezed tightly. It was really sour. I went over to the safe where my parents kept all their money. I entered the password and the lock clicked. I slid the door to the safe open. I slid the thin pile of $50 bills aside. My family doesn't have a lot of money. I reached my hand into the way back of the safe and gripped the thing that I was looking for. It was a pack of gum. I popped the last piece out of the packet and into my mouth. I chewed the gum for a couple minutes, then placed it on my bedroom ceiling where it had been leaking. Then, I took the cup that had collected all the water from the leak and placed it on my bathroom counter. I dipped my toothbrush into the water and started scrubbing my teeth. We can't afford plumbing or toothpaste. I spit out my saliva into the dry sink and then took a sip of water from the cup. I glanced at the broken cuckoo clock and realized that I had to be at school in 2 minutes. Now, when I say school, I mean me, 2 other poor kids, Cleo and Luke, and one of our parents teaching us stuff in an old junkyard. As quick as the flash, I grabbed my old, ripped school bag and was off. The walk from my house to school, the junkyard, was only 1 minute. My mom usually had to take my baby brother, Tony, with us because we can't afford a babysitter and my dad has to go to work. But now he has to go find a new job. I grabbed my baby brother in one hand and my mom's hand in the other. Come on, Mom, we're gonna be late, I insisted, tugging her hand. 1 second, sweetie, she said. She was scraping the last remains of butter out of the wrapper and spreading it across the last bit of stale bread. She folded the bread in half and made it into a sandwich. She handed me the sandwich and I shoved it in my ripped bag and dragged my mom out of the house. We always had to walk everywhere since we couldn't afford a car. Some kids on their way to real school would point and laugh from their cars because we couldn't even afford shoes and we had to walk in our ripped socks. It really hurts. Instead of buying us shoes, we needed to buy my dad fancy shoes and suits, otherwise he wouldn't get hired to work anywhere. It used to be a really big problem at first because my mom has back problems and she can't carry Tony. But now I've built a little wagon made from old pieces in the junkyard that we pull Tony along in. I make a lot of stuff to help out our family. My parents do say that I'm quite the inventor. I even made us all chairs to sit on at school. Before I knew it, we arrived at the junkyard. Cleo and Luke were already there with their parents. I took a seat beside Cleo and my mom placed Tony down on a ripped blanket for a nap. Then my mom, Mrs. Smith, Cleo's dad, Mr. Jones, and Luke's mom, Mrs. Grayson, stood in front of us and started to teach. Then I dozed off. You are the chosen one, I heard an old man's voice boom. I was standing in a temple with Cleo and Luke by my side. Then everything started swirling around and the old man disappeared. Standing in the old man's place was a young man who looked like he was in his 30s. It looked more like a cave than a temple now. He suddenly started speaking in a snake-like voice. I'm the great and almighty sorcerer, ruler of the world, the most villainous villain to ever be seen on the face of this earth. His voice echoed throughout the cave. Suddenly, the man hit me around the head with a long wooden cane he was holding in his hand. I blacked out. I woke up in the middle of a cave. I was no longer in the junkyard. I was shaking from head to toe. It was damp and dark inside the cave. I got up, warily. Then a bright light shined in my face. I shaded my eyes with my hand and squinted to try and see who was shining the light. I saw two pairs of familiar looking eyes. One pair was a watery blue and the other was a chestnut brown. I couldn't believe it. The watery blue eyes belonged to Cleo and the chestnut brown to Luke. Cleo, who was holding the flashlight, shined the light aside and helped me up. I tried to ask her what was happening, but neither her or Luke answered. Then Luke and Cleo hoisted me up onto their shoulders and dragged me out of the cave. I was creeped out by the fact that they were dragging me and that they ignored everything I said, but on the other hand, I was kind of glad because my head was still spinning as well as pounding from being hit by the cane. They dragged me out of the cave and onto a hot and sandy beach. The only weird thing was that there wasn't anyone else on the beach. My feet burned as the hot sand stung my skin. Once again, I asked Cleo and Luke what was going on, and this time they answered. They said that an old man had appeared in front of them and disappeared in a flash, but they didn't say anything about being the chosen one. I told them about my dream, and they thought it was very mysterious. That there was an awkward silence when, suddenly, a bodiless voice echoed throughout the whole desert. And remember, the fate of the world rests in your hands. I guess I'm not so ordinary, I said to myself. Thank you.
Well done, Samira. That was extraordinary. Thank you for sharing that story that you wrote yourself with us. Okay, so on to our next artist. Thank you, Elijah and Samira. So I first connected with our next artist at a comedy brunch in London in September of this year. Yinka is the cousin of one of my closest friends, Charlotte Pope Williams, and sending all the love to Charlotte as I know she's in the audience. Yinka is a creative entrepreneur whose first love is music. There is no stopping this talented woman who launched her own beauty brand this year. And we will be sharing information of her beauty brand in the intermission. But for now, I am delighted to introduce the powerhouse soul vocals of Yinka Williams singing All That You Are by Sinead Harnett.
Woo. Hi, everyone. Told me that you're not at your best. Pressure's got the better and you're on the edge. But nothing's right, I'll be what's left. Don't you take it out on me or love me less. On the same side, but your pride won't let me be. When you're weak, you never want me to know. So we go from two lovers to enemies. Oh, because you're just too scared to show all that you have. I wanna see, show me your scars. Don't hide from me, fall in my arms. They'll set you free. I wanna be beside you, oh, beside you, oh, all that you are. building up in the air. Oh, powered by the need in you to always compare. You're picking me apart, it ain't fair. Always looking for something that isn't there on the same side, but your pride won't let me be. When you're weak, you never want me to know. So we go from two lovers to enemies. Oh, because you're just too scared to show all that you are. I wanna see, show me your scars. Don't hide from me, fall in my arms. They'll set you free, 'cause I wanna be beside you, oh, beside you. Oh. See, all of these things, they don't matter. I give you my love on a platter. Show me your everything, and none of this don't mean a thing. Can't you see all of this anger is heading for such a disaster? Show me all that you are. I wanna see, show me your scars. Don't hide from me, fall in my arms. They'll set you free, 'cause I wanna be beside you, oh, beside you, oh, that you are.
Well done. Yeah, man. Damn.
Oh man.
Not sure if you've it before, but you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram name is actually in the handle. I don't know what side it is. On the side, you'll see it. So Lisa Williams, and yeah, go and check me out, check out my stuff, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And we have a lot more amazing acts coming up for you. Bye.
Amazing.
Thank you, Yinka, for that beautiful and talented performance. That was really, really amazing. Really appreciate you coming on to the show. Wonderful addition. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next person. This talent has been around my shows for a long time. He's a Delaware local. He's an amazing artist, rapper, performer, lyricist, and he's just getting better and better with every performance. He recently just released a new song, and he's going to be performing it for you guys today. So without further ado, give a round of applause for Young Seta and his performance of Letter to Depression.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is my song, Letter to Depression. Y'all hear me? And the beat? All right, cool. Yeah. You can take away my name, take away my voice, take away my change. You can take away my joy. You can take away my family and everything that can be. Take away my sight, my health, my strength of standing. You can take away my mind, take away my friends, take away the girl I promise I'll have to the end. You can take away the good, take away the laughs, take away the kids I care about but never had. You can take away my songs, take away my gifts, take away the truth and replace them with all my sins. You can take away my job, take away my house, take away everything else that's all I'm about. You can take away my faith, take away my God, take away my dreams and lock me inside the dark. You can take away my love, take away my heart, take away the places I run to when it get hard. You can take away it all and leave me left in the dust with nowhere to go and nobody to trust. As everything falls down, I still be looking up, because there's only one thing you can never ever touch. No, you can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. So you can never take my soul. Yeah, you can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. And I'ma keep fighting regardless if I get old. Till it's all said and done, probably leave with broken bones. But it won't even matter because you still won't have it though. No, you can never take my soul. You can never make it right. Struggling to deal, so much easier to hide. Every time I went to freedom, you're the one that kept me tied. And I'm finally breaking free. Free from all your lies. Free from all the pain. Free from all the hurt. Free from all the times you told me that'll never work. Free from all the scars. Free from all the bruises. Free from all your evil telling me that I'm so useless. Free from all the doubts. Free from all the fears. Free from all the silence covering both of my ears. Said I'm free from all my enemies trying to get the best of me. Free from all my weaknesses. I watch them disappear into the air. So you can't take my soul. You can't take mine, no. All these years I spent and these nights so cold. All the tears I shed, for all the blood I bled, I won't turn back now. No, I can't let go. I seen a lot of people die because you infected their lives. Told them they wasn't worth it and led them to suicide. But I refuse to be another number because only the sun comes after the thunder. You can't take my soul. No, you can't take my soul. Yeah, you never take my soul. Yeah, you can't take my soul. Yeah. So you can't take my soul. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You can follow me on my Instagram. It's my name on there, Real Young Seta. I also got merch and stuff like that. I'm selling like these face masks and t-shirts too. So if y'all want one to glow in the dark, you know, before the Letter to Depression song came out, this was one of the songs that I released called Nights Like This. And you can check it out, you know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, all of that good stuff. Yeah, great to be on here. See you guys.
Great job, son of you.
Thank you, Young Seta. Again, his Instagram handle is Real Young Seta, so you can find him there and all the stuff that he has going on if you didn't hear when he had said it. But thank you again, Young Seta, for coming on. You're an inspiration to everybody. Your emotional impact with this song is really hitting me and others, and I'm sure it's going to touch a whole lot more throughout this call. So thanks again. With that being said, we'll move on to our last performer before our intermission. This is a young up-and-coming artist from Delaware as well. He's great with the vocals. He's great with acoustics on his guitar. And he's ready to give you guys something original. And he's been at these performances a bunch of times, so I'm glad that he's here again and giving us something special, something new. So please give a round of applause for Sam.
What's up, guys? How are we doing? Just want to say you guys are all insanely talented. Just a round of applause for all you guys. Thank you, Chris, and everyone else who's in here. And yeah, let me get to it. This song I wrote a little while ago. It's called Wake Up. It goes like this. Don't wanna wake up. Won't wanna fall asleep. Don't wanna wake up without you next to me. I don't wanna go out. I won't wanna stay in. I don't wanna go out if you're not going. So wake up, stay with me. Wake up. the dark, you'll find me here in the dark, you and me. Here we are, lost in the street. Here we are, you and me, you and me. So wake up, stay with me. Wake up, don't fall asleep. So wake up, stay with me. Wake up, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
Paul,
Beautiful.
thank you so much.
Yeah, great job.
Guitar lessons. This is Emery. I want some guitar lessons.
Yeah, I need some, man. Thank you, brother.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sam. That was amazing. That was
Thank you,
wonderful
guys.
performance. Great. Got some great talented artists out here, I gotta say, from all over the world, from children to adults, big, small. It doesn't really matter the size or scope. We are all talented in our own regards, and I'm glad to see that shine through this entire show today. But that's only the half of it. We still have a whole lot more to go. But before we go into the next part, we're just gonna have a quick little intermission. And I'm going to see if we can get some of these visuals up.
Think we have no commercials?
All right, so just to promote some of our wonderful artists, coming up soon, we'll have Miles, and he is advertising Treatment, a collection of poems. It's a paper book. It's on, I believe, Amazon. There's a Kindle edition. There's a paperback version. So if you're in the UK or even in America or within North America or the States, you believe you should be able to still get this book. Hopefully Miles will be able to touch more on it later on during the show. But we just want to give him his spotlight for his book that he's released. So go out and get a copy. It's called Treatment, a collection of poems by Miles Raphael. And it arrives Wednesday, November 18th, if you decide to get it today. And also, as Lisa has said before, Yinka Williams has her own beauty organization. She's launched YW Body Buttes, a health and lifestyle brand, lip luster line of glosses, lipsticks, and lip scrubs, all vegan, cruelty-free, organic products. So for all of you vegans out there looking for something to make your face look just a lot more pretty, a lot more cuter, beat as they say, I guess, go on ahead and look at Yinka's line of cosmetics and beauty supplies. You probably will get something out of it. You'll get a kick out of it. So yeah, just wanted to plug that in.
Yinka.
And that should be it for our short little intermission. Again, lots of brands, lots of great stuff. Raphael with his book, Yinka with her beauty supply. Please go out and support. And of course, reach out to all the artists here as well. They have their own things going on, new releases, new songs, new events as well that they can also plug in. Please reach out to them after the show, during the show, in the chat, on YouTube, however you can. And we would love to have them network and support you guys and each other as well, because that is what it's all about at the end of the day. Please show support.
Do we have the program just to put on up on the screen just so we can share what's coming up in the second half?
Right.
Fab. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. So yeah, in the second half, we have Justin, who will be coming up first. Then again, Miles will be coming up next. But Justin is a poet from Texas / California area. He'll give more info on that. Miles is a poet from London. Isaac, pop and R&B vocals from Delaware. Phoenix Rhymes is a poet from Delaware as well. And Heavy C will be our last artist up. And then we'll have our special thanks. So just to see what's coming up next for the show, we have 5 more artists, and then we will be ending off the show. So stick around, stay tuned. We're going to have a whole lot more for you guys in store. Thanks again, Alex. All right. So as I've said, Justin will be coming up next. He is a poet from living currently now in Texas from California. Met this brilliant, wonderful man. One show that I was at, and I had to reach out to him, and we, one thing led to another, and now we're doing the shows. And he was at the first International Slam, and I'm glad that he's back again. I'm glad that he's doing a whole lot of great activism support as well in his own community, and he's still writing and performing poetry wherever and whenever he can. So please give a round of applause for Justin, aka 6 a.m.
Sir, yes, sir. I appreciate it, Chris. Can you hear me okay?
Doing good. Sounds good.
Perfect. As always, man, thank you so much for putting on this event. It gives me an opportunity to hear such beautiful art, whether it's poetry. Young Seda piece blew me away last time, blew me away again. The vocals, the kids on the piano, like, it's just amazing. So thank you for putting this together, and I hope you invite me to the third one. So with that being said, I have 2 pieces for you guys today, and I'm going to get right into it. The first one is called Valerie. Before I do that, my Instagram is jjones.la. I do go by the name 6 a.m., originally from Los Angeles, but I am in Dallas now. And I just appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate your ears. So thank you for listening to me. Valerie. Since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess. Man, I wish she could really come and have a seat with me, just so she could ask Left Eye if by now she'd ever be with me. Ask Marvin what's going on with the scenery. Can me and Marley now puff legally? I got some questions for Pop. No gangster shit, I just gotta know. How'd it feel being the man on death row? Is some lady named Billie Holiday still singing? My brother, you changed the world, thought you'd only spark the seed in. Maybe now you can finally do that collab with Selena. Let Jimmy play the strings. Watch Aaliyah sing something. Sing something. Sing something. Can't forget Jam Master Jay, would be no Run DMC, nothing. I'm trying to soul train with Coltrane, smoke strains with Whitney. Judge me if you judge me. Feel me if you feel me. That's your bias. But I hope you don't overdose on that diet. Just trying to smell my roses while I'm still flying. Unlike Otis, who never saw us all at that dock smiling. Somebody tell Sam we still working on the change. Tell Malcolm they tried to erase him, but we still know his name. Huey, Bunchy, Panthers didn't die in vain. For the life they gave, now they can have a bite with JFK. If you ever switch lanes, let Paul Walker know we love him like James Dean. Still watch him shift that 6 speed 130 times in every 5th scene. See, I don't want to be famous, Jet Jackson. just paying respect to the past and to the ones who shaped my youth. Before I had a crush on Maya, I had a crush on Maya Shattered. Always wondered what she saw in Urkel. Oh well, it doesn't matter. You know, Miss Winehouse, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. If only I could sing like you. Didn't get to really know you before you left. Pac said to smile through the bullshit, so thank you for the depth. Your names, we will never forget. Your art breathes life after death. Thank you all. We hope in peace you rest.
Just for you, Valerie.
My, thank you.
Definitely,
you very
wordplay
much.
was crazy, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Great.
And this,
Yeah.
my last poem is called Mother. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. And why must you cry at all? It's a cold world, a mother's warmth will dry you off. Prayers when you don't decide to call. Pressing 9 when everybody else declined them all. I'm talking about them one mothers. Them I don't give a fuck, that's my son mothers. Chin up, be a man. No excuses, say you can. It's amazing to watch. And I see it from afar. Beautiful struggle till you close enough to see the scars. Oh, the secrets they keep. The disrespect they endure. Puffing out your chest, she still don't show you the door. The one who loves you when them hoes don't love you no more. I'm talking about baby mama hoes, high school hoes, young girls writing little love notes. She the one that tell you, nah, you don't want those. Then I work an extra shift overtime because you really want those shoes, toys, and weird ass clothes. I'm talking about them one mothers. Single mom, no excuses, get shit done mothers. In the stands at your game, shivering and shaking just to watch you play. It don't matter where your dad is, I'm here today. A real mom will always find a way. But why we leave young mothers to be a pappy? Damn it, Tupac, these brothers ain't making you happy. But dear mama, you making me proud. I wrote this for the realest moms around. Glasses up, take the whole freaking drink down. No sip, enough sipping. You've passed on enough men and maybe some women. Hey, whatever, that's your decision. It's time to start living. So many sacrifices made for the children. You can't explain the pain, you stayed for the children. Packed your bags and made a way for the little nigga. And look how he act, like you ain't did shit for him. Real moms are the reason I wrote this poem. Y'all are such a blessing. To be an expert at something and never take a lesson. You deserve just a little more credit. It's amazing to watch you raise your son. It's how I know you'll be a great mom when we have one. Thank you very much.
Snaps all around.
That was amazing. Thank you, Justin, aka 6 a.m. Amy Winehouse is one of my favorite artists, so that was really nice to hear a dedication to her. And also shout out to all the mothers in the audience. That was a really nice poem as well. Okay, so we fly from Texas back to London for our next artist. I first connected with Miles in August of this year through our mutual friend, the spectacular woman, Emma Starr, who is in the audience. Sending lots of love to Emma. Miles has been writing poetry since the age of about 14, but only started sharing his poems and his gift at open mic nights in the last 3 to 4 years. Miles shared with me that he finds poetry a wonderful way to process what he's feeling, and he's connected to lots of other people this year. Miles has a self-published book, his first poetry book, which we shared in the intermission. But for now, I'll stop talking and pass the mic over to Miles Raphael, who is sharing 2 poems that he's written. The first called Afraid and the second one, Believe.
Amazing, thank you very much. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun watching this. It's been a fantastic show so far. And it's just great to be able to join into it. Thank you again to Emma for connecting me with Lisa and having a chance to meet everyone. It's been an amazing night, and yeah, I'm glad I can contribute. My first poem is called Afraid. Why expect enlightenment from the faithful? I'm here because I'm flawed and not because I'm able. I said, why expect enlightenment from the faithful? I'm here because I'm flawed and not because I'm able. I started counting planes to kill my fears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I assume they made it home alive. I walk over grates and step close to high edges, elevating my heights so I might prepare myself to depart when the time arrives. You see, fear is how daily I die, and death is fear when given life, so I take it further. Started counting my family members to kill my fears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I assume they made it to the other side. They are otherwise not alive to advise. Mum, put down the bleach and disinfectant. No, God would accept your petty affection. Dead bugs and bacteria, they pay no mind. A cloth of squash moths, mouse droppings and dog's hair, no panacea. The dead they cannot revive. I said, the dead they cannot revive. So stop. Just stop. So why expect enlightenment from the faithful? My body a temple, my God deep inside. Though I am God, I am not fine. And I see no contradiction in this line. I said, why expect enlightenment from the faithful? My body a temple, my God deep inside. Though I am God, I am not fine. And I see no contradiction in this line. I'm afraid. I have no problem saying it. Living and dying are equally terrifying. I see visions, apparitions, reflections from the other side. They flash by like an eyelash in my eye or a whisper caught on camera. Yet I cannot catch with fingers made of dust and flesh that thick like slice of plane makes when it dips. So I take it even further. I started counting my fears to kill my death. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have been here before so many times, yet for all I fear and for all I die, this life wherever it nosedives is mine. I'm not okay. I am afraid, and that's fine. Thank you very much. That's the first poem. Next poem I'm going to do is called Believe. It's time to renew. Your contract is due, so sign the dotted line for your life to be withdrawn at a regular time. How about we rewind? It's time to be more kind. We should start this all again. Seasons are not our friend. Now, don't pretend this is the only way. Moving like melting ice is not how we play. I'm impatient of the ebb and flow. High and low tide all comes regularly in clockwork, change resides. Things happen for a reason. They are what they should be. Just keep plugging away, plug into life like a PlayStation to a TV. I'm done with that. I'm done with these games. The waiting game is a maze and I'm no rat, I have wings. I want to achieve many wonderful things. I want to be in a world that reflects externally the beauty within. Truth and good vibes, no evil eye or bad mind, no more of this reckless wasting of time. I'll leave the seasons to cycle because I prefer to run. I'm not waiting for the flow, I'll ride it and soar above. Impatience is a virtue, it roars hot like a kind of love. Passionate is its fury, hungry is it touch as it reciprocates, it can't have enough. Rough and wild is ingrained, hardwired, I'm tired of counting my blessings. Fed up of settling for good enough. Great is the aim, glory is the game. If life is a race, I'm sprinting till my heart escapes, till it bursts forth from its cage. To be out in the world, no need for a hearse. The body can return to the earth. My heart burning, bursting, driving wild, no longer inert, beating like a drum, not ticking like a clock, setting the rhythm for all else to be driven. Today I have arisen with eyes, blood red from working till late. Fingers shaking from typing till they quake. Mind so stretched that indecision is heresy to my religion. All it can do is grow from low to high tide, spreading outwards like oxygen, ready to ignite any open source of light. No more will I pay my debt for being born outside the 1%. Faith comes now, so does the satisfaction. This is normal to me now, there will be no reaction. All is ready and right now. Forecast cannot predict the adulation. I'm bigger than that, you're bigger than that. We're all bigger than these fragile bodies, this tiny country, these little cities and national anthems. Come now. Stop taking part and take parts. Keep the good and discard the bad. It's mad to keep acting as though this is forever. That we have to be swept. I am an ocean. I'm not concerned by rivers. I'm the universe. Call me earthling. That is such rudeness. Let's rise to the top. Even the bottom is someone else's ceiling. We're there already. I'm tired of believing heaven can't be found on this earth. Death itself cannot devalue our worth. There is no value offered for this contract that would convince me to renew. There is no renew, renege, roll back, stalemate. There is only now. We don't look back. We don't look down. My head is bare. I do not need your crown. That's my second poem done. Thank you all very much for listening. I'm grateful for everyone for sharing my poetry book in the middle. If you liked what you heard, some of it's going to be slightly different because it's written rather than for sort of performance purposes, but the themes, the tones, the style will be very similar. So thank you all very much for your time. I'm going to go back to enjoying the show because the first half was fantastic, and I'm sure the next second half will be just as amazing. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Miles. That was amazing. I'm looking at some of the comments right now in the Zoom chat, and everybody's quoting you. Everybody's quoting you. Like that's when you know you've made it. That's when you know like you've made an impact on people with your words and how you present that. So thank you for bringing that to us. Thank you for just being here, and amazing, just an amazing job overall. With that being said, we're going to move on to our next artist. This man has been in support of the open mics for a very long time now. And he's been in and out of, every show, and he's just been a real support. And I'm glad that he's here. I'm glad that he's able to showcase his talent virtually now on the International Slam. Coming from Delaware, he's a good friend of mine. Please give a warm round of applause for Isaac, aka Ike.
How y'all doing, man? Today I'm gonna do two songs. One is a mashup of Butterflies by Queen Naija and Congratulations by Post Malone. And the other one is I'm gonna do a little bit of a remix I did to Yummy by Justin Bieber. So here we go. I don't want to fall so fast, but I'm open. They always say that good things never last, and I know 'cause I've been broken and trying to protect my heart. It's so hard, and I guess it's safe to say you take my pain away, and I just wanna hold you all night long. Whenever I'm around you, I'm hoping that you'll call when you come around. You got me on a high, I don't wanna come down. I love these butterflies. I'm on a high. My mama called, see me on TV, sunset. Ever since we were young. Now they always say congratulations. But you I forgot a vacation. Taking you on vacation. People say we shouldn't look away. My mama called, see me on TV, sunset and change. Since we was on. Ever since we was young, they said I was all night long. Whenever I'm around you, I'm hoping that you always be around. You put me on a high, I don't wanna come down. I love these butterflies. I'm on a high. Just love, just love, just love, just love.
I just wanna know, would
You catch me if I fall,
and if I tell you yeah,
I might just risk it all. It's okay, then I'ma leave. The only one I see, I see, I see.
people say we changed it, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. That's the first one. And second one is Yummy by Justin Bieber. So here we go. Yeah, you got that yum. Yeah, you got that yum. And that's the end of my performance. I appreciate y'all for listening. Again, my name is Ike from Delaware. My Instagram and Twitter is Ike_music_official. Appreciate y'all and look forward to watching the rest of the show.
Thank you, Ike. Thank you. Those mashups were amazing. Just brilliant, awesome talent, man. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So moving it back onto Delaware, we switching up from an R&B and pop back into poetry with this next poet and this next performer. She is not only a poet, but a teacher, professor, and a Black mother, doing her thing, supporting her children, doing what she has to do. And I'm glad that she's with us today to give us some more of her truth. So please give a round of applause for Phoenix Rhymes.
Thank you, everybody. And sorry, my name is not correct on my Zoom. I am a Spanish teacher, so that's why it says profe. But here we go. So my poem is called Say Her Name. When does it end? Better question, when will we begin? Loving Black women, Black men, Black children. The bullet hasn't hit me yet, but I'm still dying nonetheless, still crying nonetheless. This cycle is endless. Her innocence, her death. Protests bring the eye of the press, but never the change we seek. Week after week, we see murals, the renaming of streets. We receive prayers and platitudes, but the attitudes remain the same. You want my vote, but what are you doing to affect change and prove my life matters beyond the primaries and the general election? What are you doing to section off the systems built with the intention of oppression? The drywall in her neighbor's apartment will receive justice and Breonna never will. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor, Breonna Taylor, she deserved more than this. You deserved better, sis. I can't tell if this is hell we're living in. If I can't tell if this hell we're living in is literal or figurative. I can't breathe again. I can't see an end to this suffering, this anguish, this pain. The rain can't even wash away. The blood is on your hands, and yes, they're stained. It'll be your scarlet letter to bear. I don't care, red or blue. I blame you for not setting right what your forefathers got wrong. It won't be long for the requests come that we find a peaceful way to address our grievances like Martin Luther King Jr. did, but you seem to forget y'all killed him too. Peaceful and murdered. Sleeping and murdered. Eating and murdered. Walking and murdered. Breathing and murdered. This is absurd. Has it ever occurred to you that we are humans too? And that alone makes us deserving? I don't need to earn your respect to have the right to live. I don't have to give you a reason as to why my life has value, why Breonna's life had value. Her life mattered, and so does mine. That's it. Thank you.
Big queen. Loved it.
Woo.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So again, my Instagram is Miss Phoenix Rhymes. You can also find me on Facebook at Phoenix Rhymes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks again, Phoenix. Amazing, amazing poetry as always. Lovely, and just happy to have you on board every time. Second international slam you've been on. We've only had 2, so there's 2 for 2. And I'm glad you're able to make it to pretty much every event that I've been able to host, that we've been able to host so far.
I appreciate having them and letting me speak.
Anytime, really. And with that being said, we're going to move on to our last performer of the night. And shout outs to D Turtle, actually. Good friend of this performer. He was on the other International Slam last time, and he was the closer for that one, and now his friend is closing for this one, which I felt was appropriate. So shout outs to him. But going on to our last performer, he's a rapper out of Delaware. He's been doing some amazing things. He teaches, he's still writing, and he's still performing in any way he can. And I'm glad that he's here today for the International Slam Take 2. So please give a round of applause for our last performer, Heavy C, coming on the virtual mic.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Yes, I'm Heavy C. I'm actually from Norristown, Pennsylvania, but I've been in Dover, Delaware for a long time. Family in Smyrna. Me and D Turtle went to school together. Started doing shows with Christian. He did some virtual shows with us. We did some shows with him. So this piece right here, this is my whole 5 minutes. It's called Heavy Exhibit C. Pretty much we're going to go through a journey of my life and where I'm at now. Emery, I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who went. Emery, Elijah, Samira, Yinka, Seta, Sam, 6 a.m., my mans, Miles, Ike, and Phoenix Rhymes. So right here is Heavy Exhibit C. Everybody in the Zoom, I appreciate you guys. Everybody on YouTube, I appreciate you too. Heavy Exhibit C by Hev or Heavy C. One day, I will be napping on the clouds, rapping for heaven's crowds, a master with 7 crowns, a legend up in my town, the biggest little nigga the planet has ever found, flying beyond stars but came up from underground. Now listen to my style, my voice is from the people. Poor, exhausted, outcast, portrayed less than equal. Now we greater than, making them see our potential. Whether it's on instrumentals or in a temple, I transform and branch on those with the same mental. Killing all opponents, the greatest of all time to ever do it from my city. Prove it, let's rewind to the 5th of November. Back in 91, to the city of Norristown came a black and mighty one. At 132, that's when his life begun. Parents named him Carl David just because of his father. That's the names of 2 kings. He's been the type to be honored. On a roll in school until he hit the 6th grade when he hit a transition. Worse than his braids, worse than his grades. Well, in English class, life was on a rocky road, though he never crashed shit. Living in a world where his parents had split. He knew it was right because his daddy was doing wrong. Who knew years later he'd be sharing it through a song? Because when he was a kid, rap wasn't his priority. The cool kids had it. He was shunned from the majority. Teased at different stages, going through different phases of life. Let me say where this is going, please. The tools that defeat you can be the ones you need to master and utilize, so no one can equal your power, your passion, your dedication to a craft. See this in effect as you look into my past. Now look into my future as I'm climbing for the crown, the rebirth of hip hop. And I don't mean the sound, I mean the whole culture before the industry and the drugs took it over. Back when it was love, we put nothing above the way we were living before a crip or a blood, before the pop and the slugs, before an artist could get killed just for having a buzz. I'm doing this for the fun and I'm doing it for the funds. Now that the nigga order, I'm doing this for the young. Your role model's a rapper, I'm a rapper's role model. I'm here to remold rappers and give you a gold model, give you a gold chalice, give you a gold bottle. You niggas rather drink Henny and claim that you bone models. I'm transcending the world, you keeping your soul bottled. Set it all free, set it all free. My queen in my corner, she screaming, set it off, see? The child they hated is screaming, let it all free. The crowd screaming loud like you better talk, see? Stepping on beats, I get measured on heat. I got a different perspective, so I get measured on C. The ones that call me zero know I'm letting off heat. If I kept it 100, then I would let them all freeze. Let me talk, please. A baby became a boy became a slave became a man who could lead the way. This leader became a speaker, the speaker became a teacher, this teacher became enlightened, teacher became a preacher, the preacher was on his job was teaching God, God became his life, this preacher was living God. People call God crazy, the people became lazy, devil crept on the people and led the people to slavery. 86, God returned us all the indigo babies. Now the world is changing and it's ours for the taking. For my closing statement, I see that you judging me. My blessings keep doubling and you sitting there struggling. I know you want to hate me, but you can't stop loving me. Suddenly the pain is gone. No more fear inside you bubbling. Release your negativity. If you want to kill me, your honors, the heavy court, I plead to you, I'm guilty. Guilty of being gifted, guilty of being different, guilty of being heavy, but keeping your souls lifted. I'm guilty of being black, guilty of being proud, guilty of using rap, guilty of building town, guilty of having parents I'm partially letting down, guilty of not conforming, performing for every crowd. I'm guilty of finding love, guilty of finding self, guilty of fighting back, guilty of trying to help, guilty of being weird, guilty of not wanting to, guilty of the drive and the passion for what I want to do. I'm guilty of my missions. I'm guilty of all my visions. I'm guilty of giving life without asking permission. Guilty, I'm fucking guilty. You listening? Because I'm listing my charges. They got me charged and I'm hardened from my position. The rock of everybody, but always a stepping stone. They make it to the summit, I'm always still left alone. I guess the strongest stones are at the base of the mountain. Am I the foundation or the face of the mountain? Jury, what's the verdict? Can he exist as free? The defense rests with heavy exhibit C. Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, it's crazy, bro.
Appreciate it.
Is there anything you would like to say before we end off the show, C?
I'm just glad you guys are here. I'm going to be recording and releasing this song soon. You can follow me on Instagram at That's Ill Have. I'll have all my stuff out on streaming platforms pretty soon. Video for that. Christian, Lisa, thank you guys so much. Everybody, thank you for coming out. If you're watching it now on Zoom, now on YouTube, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now in the future, am I president yet? Did we do it? I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you, Heavy C. What a wonderful way to end the show. And thank you to all of our incredibly talented artists. It's so exciting to put these shows on with Christian, and I'm really, really grateful to everyone in the audience that came. I just want to say a couple more thank yous to people who have helped put this together, and without them we wouldn't have been able to do it. My Uncle Bert, who has guided me and Christian to put these shows together, so thank you so much to him, and to Alex, who we wouldn't be able to put these shows on without him, so thank you so much, Alex. And that's all from me. I'm going to hand you over to Christian to say a few words. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again, Lisa. And again, my personal thank you to Alex as well for doing the technical aspects of the show. Glad that you're able to stick around and help us out. Thanks to Bert as well for being an inspiration for this show. The whole concept of this probably wouldn't be a thing without him, and Lisa, of course. So thank you guys for that. And continuing with this effort. Thank you for all the artists that came out today and showed their support and appreciation for the show and their talent and skills to everybody on Zoom and on YouTube. and just sticking with us through the times we had to do rehearsal and everything from behind the scenes. Like this show wouldn't be the way that it is without you guys giving your input and your knowledge and experience with everything. So thank you guys as well. And just another real quick surprise announcement: we are planning on doing another show. The International Slam Part 3 will be a thing. We have a date set for I believe December the 19th. Let me just double check here. Yes, December the 19th, we will be having another show. So lock down the dates, everyone. It'll be the same time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock UK time. We would love to see you guys come on out again. We're going to have to try to get a special guest. I cannot say who because I do not have this person confirmed yet, but just know that this person is big in Delaware. This person is huge. And has been well known throughout Wilmington, well known throughout his career. So I'm just gonna leave that with you guys. Don't ask me anything else.
Somebody said Joe Biden.
I mean, I don't know if Joe Biden come onto the show, then
you never know.
There's no excuse. You all have to show up if I can get Joe Biden.
No, Joe ain't no poet, but he's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, December 19th, lock down the date, everyone. We will have advertisements and more information soon. But until then, thank you guys for coming out and showing your support. It means a whole lot to us from the bottom of our hearts, especially mine, to continue to do this, even with everything going on in the world today. 2020 has just been a disaster, but this has made up for it in the best and most possible way. So thank you all again. And we will see you guys next time on another International Slam.
Woo! Hey everybody, y'all killed it. Y'all murdered it. Everybody.
Hey, D Turtle, make sure you get on the next one. I'm calling you out, bro.
All right. I wanted to let y'all get y'all shine.
And make sure to also follow up with all the artists as well. Support. It's a huge thing.